Hey guys, how you all doing? I'm Paul the Tech Giant and a warm welcome to the channel. And today I am very pleased to be unboxing this 65-inch LG C10 OLED. Now, to say that I was excited to receive this TV would be a massive understatement, as you can see. And reason for that is because my previous TV was a 65-inch BA OLED and I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was my best TV that I've ever owned to date. Now, a massive thanks has definitely got to go out to the guys at box.co.uk for so kindly sending me out this LG C10 OLED. But not only that, they also sent out this 8K Samsung QLED for me to unbox and test out for you guys. Now, if you are looking to buy a brand new TV, then I will be leaving a link in the description, which will take you to the guys at box.co.uk, where you can go and check out all the latest models, all the specs, and the latest prices and offers. And the good news is they offer a free 5-year warranty with TVs like this, and they also price match all the major retailers, so there is no reason not to go and buy a TV from them. And if you do, you are supporting the channel at the same time, so please go and check out the link in the description for the guys at box.co.uk. Now, if you do enjoy the video today, I would really appreciate a thumbs up because it helps promote the video to other people like yourselves. And if you haven't already subscribed, then think about subscribing, because I'm going to be doing loads of testing with this LG TV, because it will now be my new daily long-term TV. And as with my previous BA, I'm going to be doing like burn-in tests, settings, tips, tricks, gaming using the Xbox One X and the PlayStation 4 Pro. Along with that, I've done loads of other testing with TVs, again, such as the 8K Samsung there, other Samsung QLEDs and other OLED TVs. So please go check them out and help me to get to my goal of 100,000 subscribers. Now, for all you guys that are new to the channel, I'm going to give you a quick rundown of how I'm going to carry out this unboxing video. So to start off with, I'm going to give you guys a tour around the outside of the box, take some measurements, then we'll get the TV out, take a tour around the back of the TV itself, look at the inputs, outputs, again, take some more measurements, have a look at the supplied accessories, then we will move on and fit these wall mounting brackets. Once we've done that, we'll get the TV wall mounted, get it fired up, set up, and we'll test out some demo material, look around the menus, and we'll test out the speakers. Basically, what I'm going to be doing is unboxing it in a way like you would do yourself at home. Starting off with the tour of the outside of the box then. And as we can see, it's the LG OLED AI Thin Q 65-inch CX, in other words, C10. Moving down, we have it stating it's self-lighting OLED, perfect black, perfect colour, OLED eye comfort. Alpha 9 Gen 3 AI processor, 4K. AI Picture Pro, AI Sound Pro, Thin Q AI Home Dashboard, True Cinema Experience, Dolby Vision IQ, Dolby Atmos, Filmmaker Mode, Bluetooth Surround Ready. And then unlimited entertainment, Netflix, Apple TV, G-Sync VVR, that's variable refresh rate, and sports alert. And just moving across here, it says 2020 new, 65 inches or 164 centimeters. We get a sneak peek of the remote control there. And then it goes on to say about NVIDIA G-Sync, works with Apple AirPlay, works with Apple HomeKit. Next up, we're going to take some measurements of the box. And again, it's things like this. I like to think that I do things different on this channel compared to others, because I like to keep it real, because sometimes people like to know the measurements of the box. Reason being for transporting in a car maybe, or if you want to store the box in your house somewhere. So measurements are as follows. We'll start off with the longest measurement first, which is 166 centimeters, or 65 and just under 65.5 inches. Then moving on to the depth of the box, and that is approximately 20 centimeters or 8 inches. And then finally the height, and that is approximately 95 centimeters or 37.5 inches. Next up, we're going to get the box open. Can't wait to do this now. Really been looking forward to this. So I've got my scissors and a knife. Hold on, that ain't a knife. No, that's a knife. So more my style, I think. So we'll put this little one to the side there, and we'll crack on and get these couple of straps cut off. So no going back now. Why does it bring a smile to my face just doing that? And we will now cut this tape. Be careful not to go too deep. Right, and let's take a look inside. So first off, it looks like we've got an accessory pack there, which we'll place to one side and have a look at in a bit. And what looks like a plastic cover there. So let's take off this bit of foam there, and we get our first look inside the box at the TV there. We can see how thin that is. That's crazy. And we've got something here which looks like, I suspect, part of the tabletop stand. So again, we'll place that to one side. Now, in order for me to get this out of the box, I'm going to call on the assistance of my partner to give me a hand. Looks like we've got another piece of the tabletop stand there, so we just place that to one side. Right, so we successfully got the TV out of the box and onto the floor. So let's take a little look around the back of the TV. So starting on the left hand side, we have our power cable there. I will measure that in just a moment. Moving along, and in the center there, we have 4 holes. That will be for your bolts for your wall mounting bracket. Just take note though that they are lower down on the screen and not dead center. Moving down, then we have our cutout just there. That'll be for our tabletop stand. Moving on down from that, we have a little button just there. That'll be so if you've lost your remote control, you can select all the menus, volume and channel functions. Moving on to the right, and we start to see the inputs and outputs for the TV. Now, these are on the left-hand side of the screen, as if you were looking at this screen straight on. So, what do we have? So we have audio out for headphones there, optical audio out, that's digital, a LAN cable, antenna in, satellite in, HDMI in, and that says 4K at 120 Hertz, and 2 USB in. Moving on around to the side, and we have another USB in, and 3 HDMIs. Again, it says HDMI 4K at 120 Hertz, and HDMI 2 is EARC or EARC. And then we have a card slot just to the right of them. Next up, we're going to take some measurements of this power cable. So let's get this out of its wrapper here. So it looks like, once again, we have 1.50 m or 59 inches to play with, which personally, as I always say, I think that is pretty inadequate for a power cable, especially on a TV of this size, and for the fact that you can't just simply unplug it, which is a bit of a shame. I wish they just put, you know, like a figure of 8 end on there, so you can put a longer one on if you wish. As you can see, you know, it barely goes past the end of the TV, so if your socket is on that side, then you're going to have to get yourself an extension lead. Moving on, and we're going to take some measurements of the wall mounting holes. So starting off at the bottom, and they are 30 centimeters or just over 1 foot, and obviously 30 centimeters again, by 20 centimeters or just under 8 inches. So that's 30 by 20. Now the other measurements I'm going to give you guys, again, a lot of you guys find this useful, is the measurements to the outside of the TV. So from the bottom hole to the bottom of the TV, we are looking at approximately 14 centimeters or 5¼ inches. And then from one hole there to the outside of the TV is approximately 57.5 centimeters or 22 inches. And then to the top, if I can stretch, we are looking at approximately 49 centimeters or 19¼ inches. Now, one thing that I just want to show you guys, which is quite important, and if you are subscribed to the channel, you probably know about this already, but there is in fact a protective film on the back of this TV. Now, a lot of people miss this out, and I actually made a video about it, and so many people got in contact with me saying, thanks very much for pointing it out. You know, they didn't realise that there was a film on the back of the TV, and it does state somewhere in a manual somewhere, I can't remember where, that this should be removed because it could potentially cause heating issues or overheating issues. So it is hard to see sometimes, and there's no pull tabs on it, which is very strange. They do have pull tabs on the front, but they don't seem to put them on the back. Why this I've got no idea. So what we're going to do, I've started peeling it already. Oh, the satisfaction of that. Look at that. And there we go. Next up, we're going to fit our wall mounting brackets to the back of the TV. Now, this is just an old bracket I've got here, had it for years. And these are simple enough to do, just 4 bolts into the back of the TV. And then these simply just hook on over the top like that and then secure underneath. I have got an Amazon affiliate page where I have put a bracket that's very similar to this in there, so if you want to go and grab one, you can do, and the link will be in the description. So one thing that I do want to point out is that with this TV, which is a bit of a pain, I didn't realise when I first bought my original BA OLED, is that the mounting holes are further down towards the bottom of the TV. Obviously, because this is where the bulk of the TV is, and the top half is just literally just screen. There is obviously no way that they can move them up any higher. Problem with this is, if you've got a bracket that has really got no movement on it, that you may find when you put on your brackets like that, that the TV then will sit higher up the wall. So that is something that is worth pointing out there. Bolt wise, I can't remember what size bolts they are offhand. But obviously you're going to require 4 of them. But again, I will leave the bolt sizes in the description once I've found out. So I'll go and fit these 4 bolts up right now. Right, next up we're going to take a look at the supplied accessories. So starting off, and we have what is the base for the tabletop stand. Now I'm not going to be fitting this today obviously because we're wall mounting it, but I will do a separate video on that showing it being put together. And next up we have this piece that will fit onto the tabletop stand. Looks very nice. You've got your LG OLED logo there. It's got a brushed finish to it. And I'll just quickly show you guys. That will fit something like, get it lined up. Yeah, just like that. Now I'll just give you some measurements here. And the length on that is 1 meter or 39¼ inches. And the approximate depth is 26 centimeters or 10 inches. Moving on to the accessory pack now, and see what we have in here. So we have our magic remote control. We have instructions there for it. And got protective wrapper on that. So just peel this off. So it is a very glossy black on the bottom there, and like a brushed effect on the top, but it is all plastic. But they are very effective remote controls. They're basically like a Wii remote where you know, you can just sort of point at the screen and you get a cursor that will move around. So it is very good. And if we just go in closer there, we do have a few like shortcuts there, Netflix and Prime Video. And also you've got like a scroll wheel there, so you can move that up and down, and it is your like enter button as well. Then we have a couple of AA batteries. That's like a cable tidy little clip there, clamp, whatever you want to call it. A few screws, that will be for our tabletop stand, no doubt. And then we have the owner's manual, and inside that we have a load of other stuff, sort of how to clean the TV, your register for your guarantee, and just loads of other little bits and bobs, stickers there, so on and so forth. Now the accessories out the way, I think it's time we get this TV up on the wall. Right, next up is probably my favourite thing about unboxing a TV, and that is peeling off the protective film. And I know a lot of you guys at home also like to watch things like this being done. So what I'm going to do is just start peeling it off from this corner. As you can see, we've got this pull tab here. And start to peel back. It's so satisfying doing this. It's not often you get to peel protective film that's this big. Why is it so satisfying? Now this is the favourite bit at the end. There we go. Next, we just need to connect up the power and HDMI cables. And because I test out so many TVs, I don't have like a power cable chased into the wall or anything like that, because they all come with different sort of connections and such like. So what I have got, because this cable is so short, is just a single extension lead there. So you just connect that up, and I simply hook it up around the back of the TV onto one of those brackets. Now we've successfully got the TV powered up, as you can see just there by the red LED light. We have our HDMI cable connected, so the only thing left to do is to power it on for the very first time. So let's hit that power button. There we go. Web OS. Do not turn off TV. So now it's come up, press OK button, which is in brackets wheel on the remote control, which we will do. And it's now, oh, there we go, the magic pointer, as you can see, has sprung into life. So we have a few options here. So we've got our language and country. We have use this TV as a store mode, which we're not going to do. So we're just going to go to next because I'm English and in the United Kingdom. So the TV has recognized that I have something connected to HDMI 1. So I'm going to proceed on to the next page. Now it's asking me to select my Wi-Fi network, which I'm going to go ahead and do right now. Now we have successfully connected the TV to the internet. We have been brought to this terms and conditions page. And once again, I just love using this magic pointer because you can just aim it at exactly what you want and move on nice and easily. So we're going to highlight next, go on to the next page, terms and conditions, agree to all, which I will do. Now we're on a page here, it says analyzing of user environment and it says HDMI 1 Sky Q, and that is correct. Now what I would say is if you do have an external box like I have, like a Sky box there, that you make sure that is turned on so the TV can detect it. So we're going to move on to the next page. Now it is saying to select an item to modify and change it. We've got set-top box only, TV only, or TV and set-top box. We're just going to do the set-top box, which is the Sky Q on HDMI 1. So move on to the next page. Next up, it is asking me to enter my postal code, which I'm going to do. Right, so I've put my postal code and it has now moved us onto this page. It says, please use AI functions. LG's deep learning technology can enhance image clarity and resolution according to the content being viewed and provide optimized depth effects and virtual 5.1 three-dimensional surround sound. So you have AI Picture Pro and AI Sound Pro. So go on then, we'll whack those on and see what it's like. Well, that's bumped up the volume straight away. Just turn it down a little bit and hit next. And we are up and running, and I cannot express how happy I am to finally have this TV up on the wall. So what we will start off by doing is taking a tour around the menus. So to start off with, I'm going to have a look at the home menu. So I've just pressed the home button there. And as you can see, we've got this bar along the bottom here, and we just use the magic remote to highlight anything on there. And we just swipe along and that just simply moves that bar from left to right. So looking at the apps then, and obviously these are going to all depend on whereabouts you are in the world, but we do have some of the popular ones there, such as Netflix, Prime Video, Disney Plus, which I'm really happy about because I do have a Disney Plus account and they have a lot of content which is in 4K HDR. Moving along, then we have YouTube, and again, another one of my favourites, Apple TV. And as you will see, as I go along and highlight each one, it then brings up a sub menu, which you can then go into further. And you've got, like quick access there to any sort of content that may take your fancy. So coming back out of that now, and let's just press on the settings button there and have a look at what settings that we have. So at the moment, we're in just your generic eco mode there in the picture mode settings. Let's just change this up and see what we have got to our disposal, or at our disposal. So starting at the very start there, we have Vivid, Standard, Eco, Cinema. Click on that. Sports, Game, HDR Effect, Filmmaker Mode, Expert Bright Room, and finally Expert Dark Room. So I'll just put it back to the Eco for now. And then we have our sound modes, but I will test those out in a minute when we fire up a bit of music. So what I think we'll do next is fire up a bit of demo video for you guys so we can experience this beautiful display. And here we go. We have a piece of my very own 4K HDR demo material that I made. And if you would like to check this out for yourself, then I'll leave a link in the description, and I may even try and put a tag up in the corner just up here. So as you can see, it is looking really, really nice. And just beforehand, it flagged up the HDR logo up in this corner. I'll show you that again in a minute when I run another piece of demo footage. But yeah, that is looking absolutely stunning, as you would expect on such a beautiful TV such as this. Nice and vibrant, sharp, decent brightness there. And, you know, I've not fiddled with the settings. Now, obviously, this would have kicked into HDR mode and bumped up the brightness anyway, but I've not, you know, like I say, messed around with anything else. So, you know, this will no doubt be able to be improved on anyway. And yeah, I mean, just look at that picture. That looks absolutely beautiful. Let's move around a bit here for you guys. Shops open for snacks and drinks, but that's about it. Now, if I just quickly show you guys that it is in 4K there, and that is the name of the video if you want to go and search for it on YouTube. It is 4K HDR English Village, and just look at that. That is just mind-blowingly clear. That looks so nice. Going close, look at that. And this was shot on a mobile phone, the phone that I'm using to record this. Just look how clear that is. Absolutely beautiful. Please let me know what you think. I mean, look at that. That is just unbelievable. Absolutely stunning. I just so love these TVs. Enjoy a little tour like this. Look at that. Stunning. Absolutely stunning. No other word for it. No, I'll tell you what we'll do. I'm just going to show you guys how thin this TV is. Now, if you're a subscriber to the channel, you've probably seen all this before. But if you're not and you've never seen one of these OLEDs, then just take a butcher's at that. Look how thin that is. That is my finger. That is the TV. Admittedly, it gets thicker as you go down there where all the sort of guts are and the speakers and that, but at the top, that is just remarkable how thin that is. Christmas lights. Unbelievable. Just look, I just think they look really futuristic, that thinness. And obviously you can buy these OLED screens without that big sort of lump at the bottom. So if you want just sort of basically a sheet of glass almost, then you can do. Again, look how clear that is. Just nuts. Please let me know what you think of it. So let's move on to the next piece of footage. As you can see, this is another HDR piece of footage. Just going to turn this down a little bit, just in case there's any sort of copyright issues with it. But look at that. That is, again, absolutely gorgeous. I just love the richness that you get out of an OLED panel. You know, I've tested an 8K screen now, various other QLEDs and such like. And I've got to say, I don't think anything comes close to the richness that you get from an OLED screen. You know, this is why you find OLED in your top-end phones and that. They just, you know, they're just on the next level, really. That just looks absolutely beautiful. I cannot wait to hook up a PlayStation 5 or the new Xbox to this TV. I think it's just going to be utterly mind-blowing. I mean, you know, just like looking at that, it looks stunning. So with a proper next-gen console hooked up, it's going to look nuts. Now we have this piece here, which is meant to show off the black levels. This isn't HDR, I believe it's just 4K. Look at that. Does it get much better? I don't know, you let me know. Just, yeah, beautiful. No blooming or anything like that. I mean, you know, it could be pitch black in here and you're not going to see any blooming or anything. If you do see anything untoward, it's just my camera making it look like that because I'm just being, well, blown away by the image and not concentrating on the camera. Let's just move over here a bit. Like I said, it looks like it's blooming there, but trust me, it is spot on. Moving on to some no copyright sounds now. And I'll give these speakers a try. Now, we are in AI Sound Pro at the moment. So this is sort of like a surround soundy, I think, sort of mode. So let's have a flick through these. So you've got standard there. Cinema. Ooh, that don't sound too great. Clear voice, again a bit thin sounding. Sports, music, obviously that's added a lot of depth to it. And gain. Yeah, in all fairness. Got a good bit of bass to that. So let's have a flick through. Yeah, that's really, well, that don't sound good on that. I wouldn't listen to music on it, but that's why you've got different settings. So yeah, putting that on music, obviously it sounds best. Let's turn it up a little bit. But what you've got to remember with this TV is that, you know, it is very, very thin. You've not got a lot of sort of space there to house the speakers. But in all fairness, as you can hear, it's still got a good bit of depth for, you know, a small enclosure at the back there. So overall, you know, it's what I'd expect for, well, I'd actually say it probably exceeds what I'd expect for a TV being this thin. So, there you go. I think that about wraps it up. So, there you have it then, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed that video today, and if you did, I would really appreciate a thumbs up. And if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, then think about subscribing for more of the same in the future. So, thanks very much for joining me today, and hopefully I'll catch you guys on next one. Bye for now.